I sucked in a breath and screamed across the crowded ballroom.
Caleb Westbrook! The baby I'm carrying is yours!
Caleb stopped. Skylar leaned close to my ear, barely containing her delight.
Summer, if you're going to aim high, at least pick a target you can reach. Caleb Westbrook isn't a man you can lash onto.
She wasn't wrong. Everyone in Crestmont knew Caleb Westbrook didn't touch women. The signet ring on his finger carried its own message, a reminder of the 4 years he'd spent mourning the woman he'd loved. The last woman who had tried to force her way into his life had left Crestmont with a broken arm and a reputation no one dared bring up anymore.
Does this woman have a death wish? Nobody goes after Mr. Westbrook and walks away in one piece.
200 witnesses, every single one watching. She's finished.
The ballroom held its breath. Caleb turned. He turned the signet ring against his thumb once. Slow, deliberate.
My child?
A faint, humorless smile touched his mouth.
Mrs. Locke, you've got nerve. No woman in Crestfield has ever shown up pregnant and claimed I was the father. I've heard about your reputation. I had no idea it had sunk this low. Picking a stranger out of the crowd at your own wedding?
The ring turned a second time. In the dead silence of the ballroom, the soft scrape sounded impossibly loud. A warning. Jordan seized the back of my neck and forced my head toward the floor.
Apologize to Mr. Westbrook. Now. Mr. Westbrook, I'm so sorry. She isn't herself. Please, just this once.
The fact that Jordan didn't even blink when I named another man as the father told me everything. He knew. He had always known. To him, the baby growing inside me had never been a child. Only leverage.
Mommy, don't be scared. If we can prove it, Daddy will protect us.
Proof? What proof? I didn't even know the man.
My parents were on me before I could finish the thought. Robert's hand, then Diane's. Blood trickled from the corner of my mouth.
Apologize to Mr. Westbrook. Now, do you want to drag the entire Locke family down with you?
Caleb stood over me. I was on my knees in a ruined wedding dress, blood dripping onto the hardwood floor, and the man who had spent one night with me looked at me as if I were something stuck to the bottom of his shoe. Then I remembered. I lifted my head, wiped the blood from my lip.
Mr. Westbrook, I've seen the rose-colored birthmark.
Caleb's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. The birthmark sat low on his abdomen, somewhere only an intimate partner would ever have seen it. The room didn't know what to make of that. Skylar noticed the confusion immediately and jumped in.
Summer, a birthmark? That's nothing. Anyone can make up a story about a birthmark. Do you have any idea how many women have tried that line on Mr. Westbrook over the years?
If you really want to prove that baby is his, why not take a paternity test? The guests immediately piled on.
Do the test! Shut her up!
Who does she think she is? Claiming she's carrying Mr. Westbrook's child at her own wedding?
Throw her out of Crestmont!
Fine, we'll do the paternity test. Then we'll have the truth.
Inside my head, Teddy practically vibrated with excitement.
My mom is best. I see Daddy lose. Don't worry, Mommy. I teach you how to get Daddy.
By then, the disaster at the wedding had already spread across every gossip site, group chat, and social feed in Crestmont. The news reached Cornelius Westbrook. At 80 years old, he was still sharp as a razor and twice as intimidating. The possibility of a Westbrook heir had him moving faster than anyone thought possible. He swept into the private room while the family physician was drawing my blood. For the first time since arriving, he looked openly pleased.
Wonderful. I may actually get to hold a great-grandchild before I die.
Caleb stood by the window, his expression cold.
When this falls apart in 5 minutes, grandfather, I expect Ms. Locke to walk out of this room unharmed. Nothing more.
My parents had practically backed themselves into a corner, terrified the Lockes were about to be blacklisted by every influential family in Crestmont. Jordan looked sick. His bride was taking a paternity test for another man at his own wedding. Even if that man was Caleb Westbrook, the humiliation was impossible to ignore.
Mommy, lucky. Not marry him. Ow, needle hurt. But for Mommy, I be brave.
By the time the physician sealed the sample, my arms were mottled with bruises. Nearly 40 guests crowded the doorway. They watched with the hungry anticipation of an audience waiting to see someone publicly destroyed. I understood one thing with absolute clarity. If the test came back negative, I wouldn't survive what came next. Footsteps. Fast ones. Racing down the hallway. The door flew open. Derek burst into the room, pale as a sheet, an envelope clutched against his chest. He crossed straight to Caleb and leaned in to whisper something in his ear. For the first time in 5 years, Caleb's composure cracked. Cornelius slammed his cane against the floor.
What are you whispering about? Is it my great child rat? Or not? Out with it!
Behind him, Skylar let out a small laugh.
Does he even need to say it? There's no way that baby belongs to a Westbrook. My sister was obviously trying to...
Derek wiped the sweat from his forehead and turned toward the room.
Mrs. Locken's child is a 99.99% genetic match to Mr. Westbrook.
The room didn't gasp. It inhaled. Phones rose throughout the ballroom in a single shimmering wave. Live streams were already exploding across Crestmont. Every accusation that had been aimed at me, fraud, gold digger, crazy lock girl, died instantly. My mother's face drained of color. My father actually took a step backward, as though the ground beneath him had shifted. For one brief, unguarded second, Skylar's face twisted with jealousy and rage. Across the room, Caleb had been holding the same untouched champagne flute since before I refused to say my vows. The glass slipped from his fingers. It hit the hardwood floor and shattered. Caleb stared at me. For the first time all day, he looked genuinely shaken.
I don't even know this woman. How could I?
The paternity report. The birthmark only an intimate partner could have known about. The bride in the ruined wedding dress, kneeling at his feet. Something shifted behind Caleb's eyes. He remembered. 3 months ago. A board dinner that had ended badly. An ambush in a hotel parking garage. The injuries he'd kept to himself. A glass of water at the bar he'd assumed was harmless. The hallway that had gradually blurred out of focus. A hotel room he didn't remember booking. And the next morning, waking up alone. Walking away convinced the whole thing had been some kind of fever dream. It hadn't been. Not a dream. A memory. He remembered everything but before he could even part his lips. The phone cameras locked onto us, and the first wave of vicious accusations detonated across the ballroom.
You slept with Caleb and still tried to pass his baby off as Jordan's? Do you have any idea how disgusting that is?
You've disgraced this family. Everything we've built, everything this family stands for. We raised you to be a lady, and this is what you've become.
The room came alive around her. If I was carrying Caleb Westbrook's child and had still been planning to marry Jordan Pierce, the conclusion wasn't hard to reach. The whispers turned vicious.
She landed the Pierce heir, then slept with Caleb behind his back. That's not a mistake. That's who she is.
At least the adopted sister knows how to behave. Married a respectable man, stays out of trouble.
She's trying to force her way into the Westbrook family with a baby. Cornelius would never allow it.
She's trash. Get her out of Crestmont. We have standards.
The voices grew louder. My father rose to his feet, pale as the white tablecloths. Then, in front of every camera in the room, he abandoned me.
The Locke family no longer has a daughter by that name. Get her out of my sight.
Skylar is our only daughter. She always has been.
Jordan stood by, silent and smug, watching me get torn apart by the crowd like a man enjoying a long-awaited revenge. Cornelius's cane slammed against the floor again, harder this time.
That is enough. Look at yourselves. A room full of high society elites acting like a pack of wolves on a young woman. Have you lost all sense of decency?
The room erupted. Cornelius glared at the crowd before fixing his eyes on me.
As long as Ms. Locke is carrying Westbrook blood, she is a member of this family. Period.
He then turned sharply.
Arthur, get her to the car. We're going home.
The butler nodded and stepped up to steady me. But by then, the suffocating stress and the toll of the pregnancy had left me completely drained. My vision blurred, my knees buckled, and I pitched forward. Before I could hit the floor, a pair of powerful arms caught me, effortlessly sweeping me off my feet and locking me against a broad chest. Caleb's face remained a cold, unreadable mask.
Don't flatter yourself. This doesn't mean I accept you.
He murmured, his voice low but steady.
But you're carrying my child, and you were my woman. I don't let anyone bully what's mine.
He turned, his sharp gaze cutting through the gossiping guests like a blade.
From this moment on, she is a Western.
Caleb announced to the entire ballroom, each word dripping with absolute authority.
If I hear so much as a single whisper against her, you'll answer to me personally. And trust me, you won't survive the fallout.
8 years with Jordan, and it took an unplanned pregnancy to finally get us down the aisle. The Wexley Grand Ballroom smelled like lilies and money. Jordan stood beside me in a suit cut sharp enough to cut glass. His thumb traced my knuckle the way it had for 8 years.
Do you, Summer Locken, take this man?
I was about to say yes when a child's voice piped up out of nowhere.
Mommy, don't say it!
I almost laughed. Pregnancy hormones. I've read the books.
Mommy, Jordan is not my daddy. Sky's baby is Jordan's.
The world did not tilt. It paused. 200 faces blurred into a single watching shape, that voice. It wasn't in my head. It was coming from inside me. My baby was talking to me. My eyes snapped across the aisle, locking onto her, Skylar, my stepsister. I was 8 weeks pregnant by Jordan Pierce. Unless I was not. And if it's not Jordan, then who is the father? The math ran and found nothing. There had been no one else.
Mommy, listen. If you marry him, he locks you up.
My pulse dropped into my stomach.
Mommy, call my real daddy. He's right there.
My eyes lifted, slowly, against my will, over Jordan's shoulder, past the officiant, past the white roses, toward a table I had not let myself look at all morning. He was exactly where the voice had said he would be. Caleb Westbrook sat at the back table the way a glacier sat in the ocean, without effort, without apology, displacing everything around it. Black suit, untouched champagne, a signet ring on his right hand he turns once, absently, against his thumb. As Crestmont's untouchable elite and the sole heir to Westbrook Industries, his gaze suddenly locked entirely onto mine.
That's him, Mommy.
I tore my eyes away so fast it hurt.
Listen. That man is the CEO of Westbrook Industries. He's basically sworn off women for the last 4 years. There is 0 chance you belong to him.
But...
Look, even if Jordan is the absolute worst man in this room, you don't get to point fingers and just pick a new dad. Hate to break it to you two, kid, but it's a little too late to swap fathers at the altar. Better luck in your next life.
I thought that would settle it. Hormones, panic, a stress-induced hallucination. Then Teddy went up an octave.
Mommy, the morning in the hotel room.
I froze.
Fiancé and Sky set you up, but you went to the wrong room. The man in the room wasn't Jordan. It was Caleb Westbrook.
Caleb Westbrook? I thought it was Jordan.
Memory came back like a tide breaking the seawall. A dim hotel suite, a man's silhouette in the amber light. Hands pinning my wrists back against the headboard. Hot, heavy breath on my neck. He was a man who had spent 4 years saying no, and for one night, he broke. Caleb Westbrook, stripped of his cold perfection, wordless, unrestrained, reckless. Standing at the altar with Jordan smiling at me, the only face I could see was that one. The officiant noticed I didn't respond and repeated himself.
Miss Loken, do you take this man, Jordan Pierce, to be your lawfully wedded husband?
Sweetheart, breathe. I'm going to spend my life making you happy.
No! He bought a house for the baby he's having with Sky.
I gave a start and shouted loudly at once.
I don't!
My voice rang out across the ballroom. The hall did not gasp. It detonated. The Pierce family was one of the oldest names in Crestmont, and I had just refused them in front of every camera within 40 miles. From me, it was a scandal already half-written. Because for a long time, this same room had watched me chase Jordan Pierce. Watched the older Locke daughter embarrass herself across every gala in the city to keep a ring on her finger. Jordan's smile holds. Barely. He laughs the small, embarrassed laugh of a man covering for his bride.
She's nervous. A little cold feet, that's all. Just give us a minute.
Sweetheart, don't play games. This is our wedding. Whatever's bothering you, we can talk after the ceremony.
Too late. My real dad is about to go away to find his old girlfriend. Mommy, hurry! Go get Billionaire Daddy!
I'm not marrying him.
A long pale gown moved up the aisle. Skylar, 5 months pregnant, beaming through tears, walking up to stand beside Jordan while she'd been blocked there all along.
Summer, please, not right now. Jordan already caved and agreed to this wedding. Please stop making a scene.
She got close enough that I saw it. The ring on her finger was from the same designer as mine. Same setting. Her stone was twice the size. Mine, beside it, looked like plastic. The baby inside me was nothing but a chess piece they'd planned from the very beginning. Skylar, the adopted sister with 0 pedigree, could never have married into Pierce money on her own. I was just their smokescreen. I was. The proxy completing her transaction. My parents were on their feet.
Summer! Haven't you embarrassed this family enough?
Is marriage a joke to you? Can't you for once in your life be good like your sister Skylar?
You are marrying him today, whether you like it or not.
I used to be the well-mannered Locke daughter. Skylar walked into our house at 18, and in 4 years I had stopped being a favored child, stopped being trusted, stopped being anything except the lock girl. Jordan pulled my hand down, smiled to the room over my refusal.
Summer is just having a little moment. Pre-wedding jitters, everyone. She has agreed to marry me, and I am very much going to make her my wife.
Out of the corner of my eye, Skylar's fist tightened against the side of her belly. I threw Jordan's hand off mine.
I said, I'm not marrying you, Jordan, and I mean it! I know exactly what you and my sister have been doing behind my back. That baby in her belly, it's yours, isn't it?
What she said sent shockwaves through the crowd.
That's right, Mom! Expose them! She say bad things about you long time.
Skylar slapped a hand over her mouth. Right on cue, tears filled her eyes.
How could you, Summer? It's one thing to bully me at home, but in front of everyone? Why would you humiliate me like this? And how could you drag my baby into this just to justify walking out on your own wedding?
Jordan recovered fast, replacing guilt with outrage.
Summer, this is beneath you. You don't want to marry me, fine, but dragging your own sister into it?
Are you out of your mind in front of everyone?
You've turned this family into the laughingstock of Crestmeal.
The guests were laughing now, and they weren't bothering to hide it. I ripped off my veil and threw it to the floor. Then I turned and headed for the exit. 4 men in dark suits blocked the doorway. Jordan caught my wrist. The polite mask was gone.
Once you're a Pierce, you don't pull stunts like this. Ever.
I looked around at the faces watching me, mocking, entertained, satisfied, and for the first time, it hit me exactly what I'd walked into. Not a wedding. A trap. My adopted sister and my fiancé had turned me into a pawn, and every influential family in Crestmont was enjoying the show.
After wedding, he locked you up. Black cars outside, they grab you. Mommy, call real daddy, now!
My eyes snapped toward Caleb's table. He was already on his feet, buttoning his jacket, heading for the exit.
No, Daddy leaving!
He was the only chance I had left. I sank my teeth into the webbing between Jordan's thumb and forefinger until I tasted copper. Jordan yelped. His grip loosened. I gathered up the train of my dress and ran. A table crashed to the floor. Wine glasses shattered across the hardwood. The crowd parted. Bouncers lunged at me, but I shoved past them, white silk dragging through the chaos. I ran straight for Caleb Westbrook. Caleb turned. I slammed into his chest.
Take me with you. Please.
The next second, I was on the cold, polished floor. Caleb had shoved me away as if I were contagious, brushing at his immaculate suit before looking down at me with pure, undisguised disgust.
Get away from me. Everyone knows I don't touch women.
Inside my head, Teddy smirked.
He's faking it. Daddy will fall for you.
I shoved the taunt aside. Desperation surged through me. As Caleb turned to leave, I lunged forward and grabbed the cuff of his pant leg with both hands. I refused to let go. He was the last lifeline I had. Heavy, frantic footsteps thundered up behind me. Jordan and his hulking bouncers caught up and pinned me flat to the floor.
Mr. Westbrook, please, my daughter isn't in her right mind. I'll personally come by tomorrow and apologize. I swear.
Jordan, scrambling to salvage his reputation, stepped in smoothly.
Mr. Westbrook, this is on me. I should have handled this better.
Nearby, Skylar gazed up at Caleb with the same love-struck look every woman in Crestmont seemed to wear around him. Then, as if to prove her loyalty, she sneered down at me and ground her stiletto heel into the back of my hand.
Summer! How dare you touch Mr. Westbrook? Let go of him now.
Pain shot up my arm and ripped a scream from my throat. The distraction was enough. Caleb pulled his pant leg free from my slackened grip and walked away without a backward glance. His broad back was already at the heavy glass doors, one step from disappearing for good. I had one shot left.
Hold up, the wedding of your dreams just turned into a chaos of baby drama. Your 8-year love groom isn't the dad your unborn baby shouts, Mommy, pick the real billionaire CEO. Remember that wild night you thought was your fiancé? Turns out it was the untouchable Westbrook heir, now a paternity test, a family feud. And a CEO who's sworn off women for 4 years. Will he claim his child? Find out why you can't stop watching this messy, sexy, twist-filled roller coaster. The drama's just starting.